Welcome to Trentendo. I'm Trentendo. You're you and I'm me and we are we, but we're not playing the Wii today because the Wii doesn't play DVDs. Does it, Kevin?
No.
That's Kevin.
Hi.
We're going to be watching all of the Home Alone movies today. All 5 of them. And before you ask, yes, there's 5. Literally everyone that I told we're doing this, they go, there's 5 of them? Like, I think my Facebook post, the last one, the very first comment was, there's 5 of them? It's every time they say that. You brought this up to do because of the 5th one.
Yep, at my friend's house, they have a whiteboard, and they have their grocery list on there, and every time I would put Home Alone 5 Holiday Heist on the very bottom of their grocery list.
The grocery list. So when they're going out and buying stuff, they could be... Do you think anyone ever was like... What would they do? Did they take a picture of their board, or did they write it down on another piece of paper?
I think they write down on a piece of paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think they were like writing... H-O... What?
come on.
He wasted paper! Kevin! Yeah. Originally, Kevin wanted to do a different marathon. Not to say that we won't ever do it. I really hope that we won't ever do it. But when he pitched this, I was like, all right, so I'll just have to, like, find all of these movies to buy. And I was like, oh, it's going to take a little while. I don't have the money just to drop on them. I'm like, I'm sure there's a box set. So I ordered this. This cost, I think, $16.95. This is all 5 movies in a collectible paint tin.
Still sealed up?
Oh yeah, I was gonna wait for today.
And by the way, no reference to the other 3 movies on this box anywhere.
No, it says things like, for the first time, all 5 films together. It was the 25th collector's, it's 25th anniversary collection. When did the first one come out? 1990?
Oh, yeah.
This is 2 years old, this thing right here.
And it's in a paint can.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught that.
Oh, look at it. It's got like fake... Oh, it's already open. I was thinking, should I bring a paint can opener?
Oh, yeah.
But it's not a real paint can. Hold on, I'll show you. So look, this is the paint can right here.
Oh, that's nice.
And then you've got was it Marv and Harry? Is that their names? And Kevin? Alright, so see how the lid's bigger than the thing, so you can just pull it off? That's kind of sweet, though.
Yeah.
Because I thought we were going to be prying it. Right on top, you've got this going on.
Oh,
that's the disc. These are the movies. Yeah, it comes in a little book.
That's pretty neat.
Oh, it's like coming apart. From John Hughes, Home Alone. From John Hughes, Home Alone. Oh, it all says that. Oh, wait, what? The disc for Home Alone, disc for Home Alone. I guess it's like extra features. I'll have to fucking get into that. Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Home Alone 3. Home Alone Taking Back the House. Home Alone The Holiday Heist. There it is. There's the movie that you've been joking about. It's right here, buddy.
Oh, that's so good.
It's got some kid that no one's ever heard from before or since.
Wait, you telling me Holiday Heist doesn't have another CD for extra features?
No. No, and there's not even like, it says, the last page says, keep the change, you filthy animal.
That's nice. Good
a reference to the first one still. It's almost like they're like, Home Alone 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. We got some, your usual salad where you can go and, do you want the digital downloads for these?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll totally give them to you.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a fake spider.
Ooh.
Oh, there's something extra.
Your own home traps.
What is this? Okay, we'll have to crack into those. And then a collectible ornament with Kevin on one side. And, hold on, do you guys do a Christmas tree here? At Christmas time?
Yes.
Put that in your Christmas tree, buddy.
Someone's gonna step on this.
And then the inside's like lined with this like plastic tub. Okay, I guess it just kept everything from moving around, but I think I know what this is. So do you want to do the mystery thing, and I'll do, because I think this is the map. I know it comes with a map, the one that Kevin drew.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so that looks like that's what's going on there.
Yeah.
Just watch us. Just wait. It's happening. We'll have a good opening montage. Did you know you were in a montage right there?
Wow.
Yeah, here's the map. So... Oh, I almost opened it perfectly. That'd have been great. Here's the battle plan. Yeah?
The battle plan? That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hang that on my wall.
I like how in the movie, jumping ahead, of course, he's all in a rush, you know? He knows they're coming, he needs to make a battle plan, but he took his sweet time.
Yeah, he drew it with literally 40 different crayons.
Alternating the colors in the battle plan. Like, if you're in a rush...
Drew, like, outline around the star.
You ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh! Cool!
It's like stuck. Hold on.
You should rip it. Cool!
Yeah, alright.
That's awesome!
That's pretty neat.
I want to say a line from one of the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
How does it feel How does it feel for what? To be on the other side of a wanted poster.
This is legit.
That's cool, man. $16.95. It came from. Instead, I ordered it from Kmart, which I didn't think was still a thing anymore. I can't think of anything else. Oh yeah, I gotta read the times. We're gonna be watching Home Alone, which is 1 hour 53 minutes. Home Alone 2, which is 2 hours and 1 minute.
I like that extra minute.
Home Alone 3, 1 hour 43 minutes. Home Alone 4 is 1 hour 29 minutes. And Home Alone 5, 1 hour 38 minutes.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for number 5, guys. So excited.
Well, it's going to be coming up at hour, I believe it's 8 hours, 44 minutes. Let's get started.
Yeah.
All right, we just watched Home Alone, and that was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, it's still so fun to watch.
I was laughing out loud at a lot of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like quality, legit lines in that movie. That's a good movie, Home Alone is. I think it stands the test of time.
It's aged well.
The cheesiness is not as bad as a lot of other movies that were newer than that. I mean, I think that's the mark of a Chris Columbus movie written by John Hughes.
It's one of the traps I set up.
What was fun is that Kevin and I were sitting here talking about a lot of different theories, and there's almost too many to name, but I mean...
I fell down the rabbit hole with that one, because I found one, and then it just more and more.
And my favorite one so far is, I think you've told me about this before today, but that was that law-abiding citizen is Kevin McAllister grown up.
Yeah.
But then tell me about the new one. Tell the new one that you saw.
Oh,
today.
there's a few other ones. Another favorite of mine is that Frank actually hired the Wet Bandits to rob the house while they're away. After the plan failed and they got caught, you don't see Frank after that. He's just gone.
Yeah.
So he's bailing now.
Well, that's the thing is like my theory though is that he's still in France. He didn't cut his trip short. He just let the McAllisters go take that flight. He's like, okay, yeah, you guys go be with your kid. I'm going to stay here. And so that him and his kids have more room. But then the one that you told me that blew my mind was that the old man that, shovels the snow and everything is a time-traveling Kevin who comes back to tell him to be cool with your family. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're going to end up not being cool with your kid and then your grandkid. Mm-hmm. And then there's the one that Peter McAllister is he trains military operatives or something.
There's a few. There's one where he trains military operatives in foreign countries, which is why they go to another country so easily.
To his brother's house who has a view of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have a place that has the view. Whatever.
I don't care how well you plan your trip. You're not getting that room.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. What is his brother get the job of president of France? But anyway.
And that would also explain why Kevin is so good at setting up traps, because he learned all of these military strategies, tactics from his father. The other theory too is that his father is in the mob.
Yeah.
And
that one seems the most plausible, and then the mom being a fashion designer. That's why they have such a huge, ridiculous house. And
they have a lot of dummies in the basement, and they use them.
The mannequins, because I saw a mannequin in the basement, and I was like, what is this house? Like, does Buffalo Bill live here? And then it's like, oh, she's probably a fashion designer. That's not so weird. Do a revisit on Home Alone if you haven't in some time. It's worth watching. But got some comments off Facebook.
Andy Gomez, I refuse to admit that I've seen any of the movies.
Lame.
Yeah, come on, there's nothing wrong with that.
Shane wanted to be joining us today, like watching while we were watching. Got called into work. Sorry, buddy. Shane says, debate. Ooh. Did the McAllisters sincerely forget Kevin, or did they purposely leave him behind because they knew he was a violent psychopath?
Oh, that's a good theory.
Oh, no. Kevin is still at home. We got to get back there.
They were waiting for him to trip up over something.
No. Yeah.
And the cheese pizza set him off, and like, you know what? Go to the attic.
The furthest away from his room in the house.
And out of all of the rooms, they send the attic. You don't send normal regular kids to the attic.
No, it's a good point.
So,
psychopaths go into attics and crawl spaces and things like that.
That's a very valid argument.
Nate says at one point in the third movie, wait, we're jumping ahead. Oh wait, hang on. Oh, I see what he did here. He's a real shit. Nate says at one point in the third movie there are two DeLoreans in the same timeline and no one talk about that. It's a thing that I brought up a long time ago about Back to the Future 3 as to why. I've told you this, right?
No.
Thanks, Nate, for derailing this. Nate says, also, all of Marty's relatives look alike. Him, except his dad. Explain. No, we can't, and I'm not. Shane says, at one point in 1955, there's a DeLorean from the first... Okay, now they're just talking about Back to the Future.
Sadie, you mentioned she likes the part where the kid is home alone. I have to argue that's one of my favorite parts, too.
Best part of the movie is when he shoots Joe Pesci in the nuts. Is so great. Like, he puts the barrel in his crotch. Like, it might as well have been part of his crotch that shot his own genitalia, and just and he, woo! Like, that's the response to that. Jorge says you guys need to check out the Home Alone theories and keep an eye out for them in the movies.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, absolutely.
I knew there were some. You know, I came up with the law-abiding citizen one, but I had no idea there were so many theories out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Go check those out. That made it like so much more fun to watch those.
It's a whole nother movie when you are in the mindset that they're from a mafia family, or like knowing this is a prequel to Law Abiding Citizen. Like, it's a whole nother movie.
Or he's the old man or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I threw out my theory is that I said they should remake the movie and Kevin has murdered the family. Or maybe you brought up something that led me to that.
Yeah.
But we were talking about how, he actually murdered them, and France is heaven. And he ends up dying himself from the bandits. And so that's why they're reunited at the end, is because now they're all dead.
Now the police are trying to break into his house, so now he's setting up traps for the police with paint cans and bricks.
Oh, man, so much fun. What a fun movie. Good time. All right, let's go forward onto Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Now, you didn't like this one as much when you watched it, right?
I did a rewatch a few years ago around Christmas because it was like on, and I was like, guys, check it out. And the thing that stood out to me is that Home Alone 1 was a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2 is a kids movie.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas kids movie, but Home Alone's a family Christmas movie. Like, you could watch... We're adults and we enjoyed Home Alone. Home Alone 2 was very much like they're trying to sell toys or something. Like, it wasn't as relatable.
And I haven't watched it since I was a kid, but I remember as a kid liking 2 more.
I did.
But that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Saying, yeah.
Yeah, and I will say I almost bought a Talk Boy just for today. You can get a Talk Boy on eBay for like $40.
I had one as a kid. I got one for Christmas. It was cool for like a month.
And then I ended up I had mine for a while, and then I traded it when I got into high school because I still had it when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. I traded it to a guy for the Metallica album Reload.
Yeah, that's not a bad trade.
I like the album.
Yeah.
All right, Home Alone 2, Talk Boy. All right, welcome back. We just finished Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Bit of a misnomer, as I was saying. Not once do I feel like he was ever lost. I feel like of the 5 locations he went to, he knew how to get there every time.
Nor was he actually home. He was in a hotel.
Yeah, he's seldom alone.
We're saying it should be Hotel Lost in New York.
It's a Hotel Lost in New York. Probably my favorite thing from our viewing is that we picked up on the fact that Tim Curry, the concierge, has the symbol for the cross keys. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was totally made up for Grand Budapest Hotel. It's apparently a real thing. Apparently there's like an organization like the Masons for concierges.
Yeah.
Do you remember? You had read a little bit about it.
Yeah, you have to have been a concierge, a full-time concierge at a hotel for a minimum of 5 years. You had to be like 21 years or older. You had to fill out an application. Mm-hmm. There's like a list of points that you have to be dedicated to.
Do you have to believe in a higher power? Do you have to... Because that's a Mason thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember what else. Do you have someone vouch for you, like pledge for you?
Oh, it might have been on there. I don't remember that, but yeah, it's a whole.
Have to survive a paddling.
Oh my god, it made me want to become a concierge.
But that kind of, yeah. But that means that Tim Curry is a part of the like if Zero and what's his name in Grand Budapest, the main guy.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, if they had needed help in America and they were calling, like Bill Murray might have then called Tim Curry. Yeah. And then you had brought up an interesting point that Tim Curry is one of the de facto bad guys, or at least that's the way he's presented. But he's not.
He's actually the good guy because he's a concierge, and Kevin is actually alone in New York, and he's just trying to help him because he can tell something's wrong.
And every time he tries to help, he gets slapped or accused of being a pervert or smooching with his brother.
If he would have gotten Kevin, the movie would have been over. He would have called the authorities. let the parents know they're at the hotel, and he could have just stayed at the hotel until they came pick him up.
If anything, he's more like he tried even more than the police in Illinois tried to help. Like he at least went tried to find out, did this kid steal it? Did he run away from home? What's going on?
Yeah. But what bothered me though is at the very beginning, Tim Curry's character was overly suspicious of him right off the bat for no reason.
It really bothered you.
It did, because he's just walking up. And Tim Curry's giving him, the eye.
He's a kid by himself.
And he's, looking up numbers. And it's he's just a kid. Yeah, he's by himself. That's not enough.
That's the instincts that the Cross Keys need.
No.
That's how you become a member, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Real quick, I want to say this before we get on the social medias. I got a message from Shane earlier that says, because he wasn't able to watch it with us, but he said make sure you watch out for the clown in the lobby. And I thought that because for those of you that don't remember or don't know, Donald Trump is in this movie because they're at the plaza. It's his joint, and there's one part where Kevin's walking through, and he's like, "Where's the desk or whatever?" And he's like, "It's right over there," and then it's Trump, and that's it. When he said "clown in the lobby," I thought he meant Donald Trump, and then I was like, "Oh wait, Tim Curry was it. He was Pennywise." So which one do you mean, Shane?
I asked people what their favorite trap was.
Oh snap! That's awesome.
Yeah. Cody Smith, swinging paint can, which is a good favorite.
Yeah, it's the classic. It's the go-to.
Cody said that someone did do a scientific analysis of the swinging paint can, and the realistic cause of a swinging paint can would be death.
Oh, would it? Okay, we were discussing the paint can because we were discussing the bricks to the face are straight up death.
Yeah. Well, that's
so paint can's death as well.
And that's a big difference between the first one, because the first one, the traps would cause serious harm.
But not death.
But nothing that would necessarily cause immediate death, at least. Maybe tetanus from the nail in the foot.
Ultimately, I guess we should say that, this movie is far inferior in many ways.
Yeah.
Because it does turn into a live-action cartoon. It is more for just the kids. I don't feel like the family can get as much out of this.
Almost every trap would have killed them.
Which is, again, it's Three Stooges, it's Daffy and Donald, it's...
What are the things that do it? Okay, for the obvious one of the brick to the faces, multiple bricks to the faces.
4 bricks to the face. Then whatever that iron was that he throws over the railing.
Yeah, like a
then
metal
the fall
bar.
2 floors, 100-pound bag of cement falls 2 stories.
Directly on his head.
Yeah.
They fall from almost the top of the building, which is a 4-story building.
Yeah, they fell at least a good 3 stories.
And then paint cans landed on top of them again, of course, always with the paint cans. Just about everything would have legit killed them.
Several times over. Oh, the electrocution?
Oh, yeah.
It was like a battery charger.
Yeah.
Like a car battery charger.
And then what happens near the end? Kevin slips on ice and gets knocked out.
Yeah. Well, they're out. When they fall, they're out for a second.
Not as...
He's out and he opens his eyes and they're like, "We're gonna get him, Marv." And
what are they worried about if they can take 5 bricks to the face? Mm-hmm. What are they even worried about if they can survive that? They're invincible. They shouldn't have any concerns. We brought up the point Kevin early in the movie gets abducted by them, the bandits, and they're literally telling Kevin that they are going to shoot him. They're going to take him down to a subway and kill him. Yeah. And Kevin escapes, and instead of getting help after literally being threatened with death, he just goes out and hooks up booby traps and all by himself. If someone...
The cops can't help him, man.
No, if someone... Bandits caught me once
He's
already.
above the law.
He's above the law.
It's a good point.
A tool chest from my friend Derek.
Yeah.
The tool chest is a favorite.
That's one of mine. I just like the confusion when they pull it and they're like, "What's that noise?" And they put their ears, they're both like, "I don't know, what is it?" Like, I like the confusion, but then the after is, I'm like, I don't need the nose crunching back.
Yeah. John, he's a fan of the bricks.
The bricks are pretty great.
Bricks, I think,
they're straightforward. They're
simple.
so violent. We got some new comments on comments, so it's gotten kind of out of hand.
When I was a kid, this movie was my favorite, but now looking back at it, like you mentioned, just cartoony almost in what they get away with.
It is. It's a live-action cartoon, flat out.
I like the first one better now.
Looks like, I think Bo said that this is his favorite one that commented. There we go. So I was looking at the way they have Facebook. They really know how to screw this thing up every now and then. It used to be so simple.
Yeah.
Ellen said, after I just kind of put out that we were watching this, Ellen said, "Is that the one where he meets the creepy psychopath with the bad hair?" Yeah. Which one? They all have bad hair. Oh wait, I think she means in the park, maybe. Nick CR says, shouldn't a social worker start asking some hard questions about Kevin's parents around about the end of this one? Well, they're sitting there and they're like, we've never lost our luggage. Assholes.
Yeah.
They're just assholes.
How many years do you think this continued after this? Every year, Kevin is just looking for attention.
Mm-hmm. Brandon posted John Mulaney bit, New in Town. I'm going to have to watch that. We'll watch that after this. I'm assuming it has something to do with this. So I guess if you wanted to see what that was, look up John Mulaney's New in Town bit. And Nate says, read my facts. Bo says, Ha 2, Home Alone 2, is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Wow.
He says, in an ironic sort of way, but still. I mean, I could see that. Also, too, like, if you liked it as a kid, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world to reminisce about. Anything else before we move forward?
Well, we're done with the good two. Now it's off to...
Well, the next one is the last one that was in the theater. So,
that wasn't the theater.
Home Alone 3 was in the theater.
We gotta order some pizza soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to order a pizza for delivery. Alright, so here's the deal. We're doing a marathon of all of the Home Alone movies today. And we have to get...
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit there. I couldn't hear a word.
Sorry. We're doing a marathon of all of the Home Alone movies today. And we need a delicious cheese pizza. So, what do you recommend in the way of a cheese pizza? Like just regular cheese, or do you have something that's crazy?
We just usually do our normal house bun cheese. It's like a mix of mozzarella and cheddar.
Alright, that's what we'll go with then. Alright, thanks. Bye. I had said before we did this that we had a chance of it being somebody that's like, oh man, I could hook you up with a Home Alone, like I could do some cool stuff. Or we just get a dud that's just like, just give me your order, man.
I realized I did give him the wrong address.
Now I gotta stay here on hold. Because they're processing my order I just left.
Ha!
And we're still recording. It's gonna be a little while. I'm gonna cut this here. Enjoy the next movie, Home Alone 3.
No, don't cut it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm cutting it. Well, we just watched Home Alone 3. Did it have like a subtext or whatever, or is it just Home Alone 3?
I think it's just Home Alone 3.
Doesn't need a colon or anything like that. That was abysmal. It's so bad, we're going to enjoy Zima right now.
Zima.
Take us back to the 90s. First and foremost. Yeah. That's what my childhood tastes like. Home Alone 3 is a complete garbage film. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And I've watched things like Birdemic and The Room. I have a tattoo from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yet this movie it's just so bad.
I don't know. I found a new song to put on my playlist.
This is my town.
This is my town.
You want to see hell? That's the only lines I know from it.
I gotta figure out who sings that.
Well, it almost sounds like, because the drumming sounds like the REM song that's like, I'll have to look up whatever it sounds like the beginning of an REM song.
Yeah.
So basically, if you haven't watched it, I imagine anybody watching this is going to be like, I'm not watching Home Alone 3. I don't know why you guys are.
Oh my god, the beginning of the movie.
The beginning is like a whole other movie.
Just watch. I at least watch the first maybe 10-15 minutes of it.
Yeah,
and then
or
skip
Google.
the rest.
Yeah, Google opening of Home Alone movie, and you'll think a Home Alone 3 movie, and you'll think, what is this even? I didn't know what we were watching for a little while.
So, just to give you a quick idea,
Yeah.
sorry to spoil it, but you have your standard Home Alone intro, the house, the...
Yep,
You know,
yeah.
and then it immediately cuts to Hong Kong, military
There's
missiles.
like planes flying over, and there's a streets,
Yeah.
and then there's a businessman in a high rise on a cell phone, and they're just like, I need the special weapons chip.
The standard missile chip has gone missing.
Yeah, he's looking at like a blueprint of a missile, and it says standard.
And then you see the shady, undercover heist people making a deal for the military chip.
Yeah. And that's the story of Home Alone 3, is that these people are trying to get the chip back to the States. They hide it in a remote control car. Their bags get switched to the airport. And it ends up going with an old lady who hires the smallest child ever to shovel her driveway.
Like a 1-foot child.
And because he was late shoveling her driveway, she doesn't pay him in cash, but instead gives him the remote control car that she accidentally got at the airport that has the chip in it from the nondescript foreign terrorists. It's so bad. And then it's like, I was talking about how the last two movies are made for TV. They were supposed to be pilots.
Yeah.
I could have seen why there were people thinking this has got to be a show, because you notice how in the movie it was like, so basically the way to get the parents out and the kid home, but not do it at Christmas because this is January something, it's after Christmas vacation, is give him chicken pox and make both parents have to leave. So it was like every day there's like an hour where the mom's like, are you sure you're going to be okay? If you have any problems, call the old lady that you hate. Are you sure you're going to be fine? Because I'm leaving an 8-year-old at home. And then they leave an 8-year-old at home. Like 5 times, maybe?
Yeah, he calls the cops because he sees the terrorists breaking into a house. They come, can't find the terrorists, so he cried wolf. Repeat that 5 times. They keep leaving him home alone.
And then finally we make with the traps, which are nothing but butts.
Yeah,
there's so much butt in this. Like
so much butt
so the lady makes the reference where she says, she's talking to the kid, and he goes, butt, and she goes, butts are for ashtrays. And then immediately after that, he's just scratching his ass. And she's like, don't you know you're not supposed to scratch yourself in front of a lady? And I'm thinking, don't you know you're supposed to learn how to wipe your own butt if you're going to be shoveling somebody's like driveway?
Yep.
You got an itchy butthole, kid. And then, seen later, his dad is like not wearing pants because he forgot to put them on. Oh, Dad forgets to put on his pants before he leaves. And he goes to check his wallet, and he just goes right for his ass because his pants aren't there.
And he's patting his butt for an unusual amount of time.
It's weird. And then there's the lady that bends over and splits her pants.
Splits her pants to show it underwear. Classic.
Yeah,
Classic
there's
move.
a guy that gets electrocuted, and a lightning bolt shoots out of his ass.
Yeah.
This happens. And for some reason, they're like, one of them has a shotgun, but all of them have a bandolier of shotguns around them, and so they can just go off when they get electrocuted.
And there's another guy had a hole in his butt where a rat comes out.
Went in there, comes out through the hole in the crotch. It's next level bonkers.
By the way, a name I was surprised to see in the opening credits, Scarlett Johansson herself.
Yeah, ScarJo's in this.
Made a debut appearance in this movie as the sister.
I'm a pretty big Scarlett Johansson fan just because of the MCU. Like, I like what she was doing with like Lucy and some of those kind of interesting movies. I want to see Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's been able to do so many of those MCU movies, and she did Age of Ultron while she was fucking pregnant.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, she really gets the shaft in the entertainment industry, along with like all the other women that do get that. And so it was just kind of nice to see her in her first role. But it's so funny because she's like young and like at the awkward stage where like. Like your nose and your lips get bigger, like your face is working to fill in everything. And,
oh my god.
But she's just a little kid,
Spoiler, at the end of the movie, the government gives them a bunch of money and Scarlett Johansson goes,
oh my god, that was so bad.
Hey, the government gave us 6 figures. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
No, it was like, and that's cool.
Oh,
like she said it like, if you didn't know.
By the way, money is cool.
6 figures is cool. No, you know what's really cool? $1 billion. So, a lot of people smashing the like button. I really appreciate it. Can't believe it just said smash the like button. Nate says, talking about Home Alone 3, Nate says, it's a good thing the second movie established that Marty is a quick drawer and gave him the bulletproof vest idea. Thanks, Nate. I'll like that back. Glenn Craven, good friend of mine, super. You know how I'm always like, you ever seen this movie? You ever seen that movie? This guy puts me to shame, man. Like, yeah, this guy's awesome. Glenn says, I saw it, not impressed, but I saw it. I'm actually not surprised that Glenn's seen it. I'm also glad you don't like it. Thank you, Glenn.
I posted a picture of the kid who stars in this movie.
Yeah.
And I just posted, going on Home Alone 3, starring whoever this is.
The kid that was well on his way to being...
Oh.
Yeah.
There are special features in this DVD, which just entails a trailer and a little bios for the people who are in it. And I think the bio for the main kid was, this kid starred in 13 commercials, including a JCPenney commercial. Oh, and he was in one movie with George Clooney. So, he's good.
Yeah, he's in One Fine Day, which I actually liked One Fine Day. I saw it a long time ago. It's probably abysmal now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine it holds up at all. There's also something weird about it, too. Kevin has a TV that has a normal aspect ratio. It's a flat screen TV. It's the one that we all get nowadays. It's a rectangle. But for some reason, the first 3 films, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, even though I predicted 4 and 5 will be a square because they were made for TV. I think because one person likely was putting together these DVDs, they all have the same wrong aspect ratio. Have you noticed it's a little squished?
It's weird, yeah.
Well, you've got the black bars on the top and bottom, which would make you think that they should have chopped off a little bit of the sides to then bring it to the full. But they look a little squished. It's off. They screwed up. They screwed up.
Yeah. I would have hated to see this in the theater.
Can you imagine paying $10 to watch this?
Having just watched Home Alone 2 Lost in New York and thinking, all right, Home Alone 3, great, let's do it. And then watching that as a home video, maybe. Like, it was innocent enough. It was ridiculous.
It's torture for a marathon.
It's torture for a marathon. It's torture if you're just an adult. If you were a kid watching it, I could see, getting some chuckles. Like, oh, that's wacky. It wasn't terrible. It was just bad.
Home Alone 3 is as if someone took either of the other two Home Alones and let a drunken 9-year-old write it.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
I just picture really shitty pitchmen. That's how these movies got made. Were pitchmen that were so into this project that were not prepared to make it. I mean, the way I heard it, that Macaulay Culkin, he retired from acting basically after not long after the second Home Alone because he got too overblown too quick. You had said.
Sorry, continue.
You'd remind me about the Good Son or the other son. Good Son?
Good Son, yeah. Good
Son. I know he did Party Monster years later.
Oh yeah.
Party Monster was after his retirement though, but he'd done Richie Rich when he was younger. But because the first two Home Alones were so overblown, he just became a massive child star. And they were gonna have him come back as a teenager in the third one, and he was like, I'm done, guys. I'm grown up. And I think that's another thing too. I kind of scoff at this when they're like. He's such a little adult. That's what makes it so funny. He's so funny. We're going to make a whole movie around him. And when you watch another child actor try and do that, you realize how great Macaulay Culkin was as a kid.
The next movie, Home Alone 4, also known as Home Alone Taking Back the House, does have French Stewart.
So 4 is French Stewart.
4 is French Stewart.
Taking Back the House.
With French Stewart and some other lady.
What's the name?
Missy Pyle? I guess. I don't know.
You got me. So, did you have any comments or anything on Facebook?
No, that was about it.
I figured they were going to dry up. They start to dry up on the other marathons, and those are movies people really like. We're in areas where people don't even know these exist.
I've talked to a lot of people. A lot of people started watching Home Alone 3 and then stopped. Not a lot of people have seen the whole thing.
That's fair.
But no one heard of 4 or 5.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's go watch 4 and 5.
Taking Back the House.
So, when did we get started this morning? What time was it? It was about 8? It was a little after 8?
It was after 8.
Is that clock correct? Well, I got my clock right here. So, 8:30 to 5 o'clock. It's like a work day so far. 9 to 5. We got one more movie left. We just watched Home Alone 4. And that is crazy bad. I was calling Home Alone 3 abysmal. This is somehow worse.
Home Alone 3 I could watch.
I would watch Home Alone 3 again.
Not in the theater.
To never watch that again, I would watch Home Alone 3
again. It was bad. It was. I knew it was going to be bad. But I was hoping that the slope downward would be a little bit more gradual. It was a decline and just a sharp turn down. Well, it was hard.
Remember when we first started it? First off, it's one of the DVDs that has the double-sided, so one side's full screen, one side's widescreen. We decided to watch the widescreen, and it was cropped really weird, kind of squished a little bit too.
It was just above their eyebrow.
Yeah, every close shot was right there. So I was like, let's flip it, and we'll have the bars on the side because it's full frame. Who cares? But for some reason, it was a widescreen shot, and it wasn't squished. So I don't know what got upscaled or what they did.
Yeah.
But the special features are trailers for Home Alone 1, 2, and 3. Not even a trailer or commercial for Home Alone 4. Mm. Nothing about Home Alone 4 is in the special features of a Home Alone 4.
Literally just the trailers for 1 through 3. There's nothing else. That was it.
And then you get to the movie itself, and it's crazy bad. So it's still the world of Kevin McAllister. The third one's a new kid, has nothing to do with him. Mm-hmm. This is the family, but it's years after, and the parents are getting a divorce. Because they're literally the worst parents of all times.
Yeah.
And this is all about the new... It sounds like I'm making this up. The fourth Home Alone is about the dad trying to buy the love of Kevin and his soon-to-be bride trying to buy the love of Kevin. Mm-hmm. That's what it's about.
It's really all it's about. There's really no... Yeah. And the thing is, all the characters... It's the same characters from the first movie, but everyone's been replaced. Yeah, so it's really weird because Marv...
There's none of the same actors.
Marv is Marv. That's it, not right?
It is Marv. Marv is French Stewart in this one.
Marv is French Stewart, and some random kid is Kevin, and they recognize each other. Like, oh, that's Marv. Yeah. But it's so weird because they're not the same people at all.
No. Yeah, it's a real, like, Terrence Howard, all of a sudden is Don Cheadle, except those movies are good. Just don't. I mean, it's definitely made for TV, too.
It was an hour of, like, a Lifetime movie of, like, the tension between the son and the divorced parents.
Dysfunctional fucking home.
Dysfunctional home. And then every once in a while, Kevin would fly a robot plane into a crotch. Like, the traps weren't even clever or fun. It was just him doing a thing. The one kind of trap that we saw, Marv pulled what he thought were the feet of Kevin from under a bed. He pulled a rope, and a dresser fell down on him.
There's no, like, pulleys or anything.
It didn't go into a cool montage of him setting things up. It just happened. It didn't show how it happened. Pulled a rope, a thing fell on him. It wasn't even fun. Like, in the first movie, it was cool watching him, like, set things up. And you're like, oh, I can't wait for that to get executed.
There's one exciting part, though. So they have a dumbwaiter in this movie, like they did in the last movie. Yeah. And French Stewart thinks he hears somebody down in the shaft of the dumbwaiter, so he sticks his head over in it, and the dumbwaiter comes down. There's, like, no build-up to it. It's all of a sudden, and I was like, oh, he's going to get his head chopped off. And so there's excitement for, like, 5 seconds, and then it's over, and it's just terrible. And then the movie ends with him telling a remote control for their smart house to let the snow fall, and it snows.
Outside. Oh, yeah, we should forget to mention that. The house, it's a smart house.
So
all the doors...
It's the original Alexa, but you got to hold a remote right next to your mouth. So you're like, door. Oh, you have to walk up to the door, stand in front of the door, and go, door open. And wait for it to open and then walk in. It's pretty smart. Oh, I'm going to check out some of these comments that we got right here. I posted a couple of pictures. Like, I posted the menu of for Home Alone, and I had said that... It's funny, I said that it looks like the parents are either dead or divorced.
Yeah, they were divorced.
Nailed that, didn't I? John asked you, he said, wasn't this the movie you kept putting on Annie, Amy, Nick's shopping list? Yep.
It was Home Alone 5, the next one we're watching.
Right.
I did it too, but...
Nate said you can tell that one guy is a bad guy because of his hat. He's talking about French Stewart, I think. Matt asked, are you going to watch the Saw movies next since they continue the saga of Kevin McAllister? Which is interesting. That's one of the theories we didn't talk about. So, I posted we were about to watch the fourth one. Glenn came in and commented saying, LMAO, it doesn't get any better, and he's right. And Nate says, wait, Marty and Doc have more adventures? What's the 1955 DeLorean count by this point in the movies? He asked Shane. So funny. Going back to a comment before that, I missed. Bo had jumped in and said we were talking about. Said seen it, not bad, but not the same without Kevin. And then Nate asks, "Are you saying it's not as good as the Bo-originals?" His name's Bo. Yeah, that's my friends.
I don't know what the next movie is gonna be. I mean, without
this is the genesis of all of today.
Without the star power of French Stewart, I don't know how. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
Yeah, I think he was trying to do a Daniel Stern impression.
Oh, he was.
And then there's like poor man's Amy Smart next to him. That's so weird. So that whole movie's about breakups. It's about the parents breaking up, and it's about Marv and Harry breaking up. Awful. It's awful. It's like propaganda for making kids feel better about divorce. It's awful. It's abysmal. But the thing is, I kind of feel like the fifth one's gonna be even worse.
The problem is, I don't know who that movie is made for, because there's not enough action or quirkiness for children. It's way too corny for adults.
I don't feel like there's even really an attempt at comedy.
There's no audience for it. It's not meant for anyone. There's no age range that would appreciate that kind of movie.
I can tell you, I don't really feel as bad about Home Alone 2 anymore. So, all right.
Home Alone 3.
Or Home Alone 3. This made Home Alone 3 better.
Home Alone 3 is wonderful compared to this.
It's a treat.
Watching. Yeah.
So Home Alone 3. Home Alone 1 is to Home Alone 3 as Home Alone 2 is to Home Alone 4. So
Yeah.
5 might be good.
Or it's just, I don't even know.
Let's do it. Holiday Heist.
Holiday Heist. Let's do it.
Well, we just watched Home Alone 5, Holiday Heist, and man, it was great.
It was better than 4th. It was better than
You're
4th.
like really championing for that. You're like, I keep saying it's bad. You're like, but it's better than 4. It's still bad.
Not good.
It's a bunch of nothing, kinda. Like, it just drags along for a long, long time, and it's a very simple, like, super simple story.
No character development, just plain vanilla family.
And they're trying to, like, revamp it for, like, kids that play video games nowadays. Like, that, it was a lot like my godson in certain ways. Like, instead of going out and playing in the snow, he'd rather sit there and play video games than, like, shooters, so he's just, like, on his headset talking to people all day long.
Yeah.
Avoiding predators.
At least, the traps and everything were a little bit
They
better.
were infinitely better than the last one.
Much better than the last one.
They weren't like a remote where you're like, open door.
They actually showed you a little bit how it worked before the trap triggered, so you can like anticipate it. Like, oh, okay, wait for that to go off.
Some of them, but some still were just like, it's a string and it goes to stuff.
But it would always like follow the string, and then it would happen. At least we got that, because in the 4th movie, it just pulled a string and then something happened. There was no build up, there was no anticipation. It was just cause and event.
Yeah, but ultimately, I would say just stop it too, like everybody else said they did.
You're really not missing out.
Yeah, no. I got a comment after I posted for the 5th one. Nate posted R.I.P.D. Paul Walker.
Oh.
Sadie says, I liked him when he was fast and or furious. And Sadie says, I like the part when that kid is home alone.
To be honest, the kids were never home alone.
There's always a burglar or somebody there.
There's always a burglar. The brother and the sister were there together.
That was an interesting
But then they're not
thing.
alone, right? Because you can't be with a group of people alone. Because then you're never alone.
Yeah, you're right. Going back to the post that was about the 4th one, Nate's still going on about Back to the Future stuff. Sadie says, I haven't seen this movie, but I bet I would like the part where that kid is home alone. So thanks guys for the post. I'm just going to stop right there. Oh, wait. We got a post on the 3rd one from David. He says, I'm ashamed to say I've seen all 1 through 4, but you haven't seen 5.
Ooh, almost.
You haven't been where we've been, David. Not yet.
Oh, by the way, the song in Home Alone 3 was My Town by the band Cartoon Boyfriend. So
It's so bad.
it's okay. How's it go again? I'm gonna play it real quick.
I can't play it on YouTube.
Why not? Let me
That shit-ass band will sue me. That played like 14 times through that stupid movie.
It was the only song that they had for Home
Oh.
Alone 3. This is my town.
They didn't even have like, Run, Run, Root, or like any other songs that you get from the other ones.
It was that song or a variation of that song. It was great.
I got sent a conversation between Nate and Shane. They were talking to each other, and then they sent me the conversation about what we were doing today, about Home Alone.
Okay.
Nate says, Home Alone is a great, fun movie. They should have stopped after 1. Shane says, I'm curious about the Home Alone extended universe. Like, I know the first 2 follow Kevin McAllister and family, but are we to believe that kids in the subsequent movies are also Kevin McAllisters? Are they even related, or does each movie after the second take place in an alternate Kevin verse?
This was touched up on. Home Alone 4 is actually the McAllister family.
Yeah, it's canon.
It's canon.
4 is canon.
4 is canon.
3 and 5 are
completely
like Born
different.
Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nate says, well, now I'm interested. Is there a Council of Kevins? Shane says, I'm patiently waiting for my offer from Hollywood. Yes, the Council of Kevins, where they all hate Kevin Prime for getting 2 movies. And then Nate's saying something about the Wet Bandits are actually 2 of the other Kevins who came back in time.
Funny enough, as a Kevin, my house actually did get broken into when I was young.
Oh, really?
I was not the one to throw it.
Okay.
My dad stayed at home, closed all the windows, and when he broke in, he threw his ass on the ground and called the cops.
Which is how you handle burglars that come into your home.
We were a little bit more practical.
He didn't like hang some pots and throw down some micro machines.
There were no paint cans swinging from the ceiling. Just a very scary
He
father.
didn't torture people until he died.
There were no blow torches involved.
Bricks. Jesus Christ. Hope nobody ever owes Kevin money.
Yeah.
Shane says, but they forgot how crafty Kevin... Oh, yeah, so Nate had said the Wet Bandits are actually two of the other Kevins who came back in time to show Rich Kevin a lesson. Shane says, but they forgot how crafty Kevin Prime can be.
Prime.
Yeah, Nate says, Rich Kevin in his mansion in the Chicago suburbs, living a charmed life, tormenting a poor pizza delivery guy, and not even tipping. Shane says, and then in part 2, he's in a Trump hotel in Midtown Manhattan, and he must have been so jealous. All right, so that's it. Thank you all for commenting. Thanks for joining us today. I had fun. It's as bad as some of those movies are. It wasn't that bad. At least it was over quickly.
I would say if you really had to watch one of the later 3,
Go 3.
Go 3.
Go 3. It's bananas. It's so out
watchable.
There. Yeah, it's
you
watchable. All right, well, thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, thanks. It was a good time.
Yeah, good time.
Got a paint can for it.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, bye. Mic check.